Hello, Princess on the Pillow here. I am here to do a review slash recap with my opinion on 90 Day Fiance, Season 9, Episode 2. It's titled Home Sweet Hoax. Let's get started. Okay, the first couple we're going to talk about is um, Blau and um, Shida. Shida? Okay. So we pick up with Blau where we left off. He is at his rundown childhood home or house, and he puts up a picture of himself and Shida on the end table. I watch a YouTuber that reviews this show, and she brought up a very interesting point. She said that Blau is OCD. This is crooked. There we go. A little bit better. Is OCD. That was a bit OCD. That was a bit of an OCD move I just did. Anyway, she said Blau is OCD, but still he can drive in that messy van and can live in that messy house with the paint peeling and the roof peeling off, but he's OCD. She doesn't believe his storyline. She doesn't think that he's OCD. And now she got me thinking that, maybe his storyline is fake and he's not OCD. Maybe he's faking this OCD thing. And I'm starting to think that also. She said because when someone is OCD, they can't live in an environment like his house or drive a car, the van, how nasty and messy it is. So I'm looking at him shady. Anyway, he goes to pick up Shida with the filthy white van. At the airport, they see each other and she drops her bags and she runs and jumps into his arms and wrap her legs around him and everything. Shida tells the camera that she wants to see Bilal's house and car because he has been hiding from her. Bilal has parked the van next to a nice car, so they're walking to the car, and Shida, she's surprised when he opens the van instead of open the door to the nice car. Shida called the van a Scooby-Doo van, and when she gets into the van, she's upset that he puts her bags in with the trash in the van. Shida said the van is like Sanford and Son van. In her confessional, Shida said that she knows that Bilal buys and flip houses, so this is not the type of vehicle she expected him to drive. She told him that the van is unacceptable and that he is losing points. And he told her that she has lost points with him too. Anyway, the next scene, Bilal is surprised that Shida is not loving the beat-up, messy van. Let me tell you something. He was really sad the last episode about getting his heart broken, right? I think he deserves to get his heart broken if he's willing to play around with this poor girl like this. I don't think it's right. Anyway, they pull up to his childhood rundown house, and Shida says a house from the 1900s. And the ceilings are horrible. When they get inside and look at the ceiling is horrible. Shida said it looked like it was about to collapse. And I would be afraid to stay in that house. Shida said the house is, what did she say? She said it's dilapidated. Shida said she had asked Bilal to see his house and car, and he told her no. Shida asked Bilal if they are rats in the kitchen. And then they start bickering a little bit. Bilal asked her if she would roll up her sleeves and help make the place better. And she said she would. The next scene, Bilal asked Shida if she wanted something to eat. She said yes. And he told her he would order something. So she asked him if he had money to order food. So she goes to freshen up while he orders the food. And food arrives and they sit down to eat. And Shada talked to the cameras and she said she feels deceived because in Thailand, Bilal had nice luggage, Louis Vuitton luggage. So she basically thought he had money. So she tells him that um, it looks like he is struggling, and she's worried. She tells him this is starting from scratch, and he should understand how she's feeling because she gave up everything to come be with him. I think Blau is an ass to put her through this, and I'd be on the next plane going back to Thailand if I was her. She tells him that she feels deceived because he portrayed himself with with expensive Louis Vuitton luggage and watches and belts, and now it looks like he lives like a pauper, a pauper. I don't think she said that word. Those are my words. Anyway, that's the end of them for now. Next is Guillermo and Cara. So Guillermo and Cara are in a car and they're headed to dinner. When they get to dinner, her friend Chris surprises her. He's there, and Guillermo said in his confessional that the States is like paradise. He said you can get whatever you want, you can buy whatever you want. But what is he gonna think when he gets there and he realizes that right now he is in paradise? The States is not paradise. Where he's at right now, that's paradise. What is he gonna think then? Anyway, Christopher shows up. Christopher is Guillermo's brother. Christopher is worried that Guillermo will not get along with Kara's friends because they're older and he's so much younger. So Christopher calls Cara a sugar mama and he calls Guillermo a sugar baby. And I thought that was very rude and disrespectful because, for one thing, Cara is not rich. And when Guillermo gets to the States, he's going to have to get a job. So she's not a sugar mama and he's not a sugar baby. He's going to have to work and she's working. So, she's not rich. So she wouldn't be a sugar mama, you know? So Cara starts joking about her friends saying that she likes boys and she robs the cradle and she likes toddlers. And Guillermo is getting upset. He doesn't like to be referred as a toddler. He wants her to respect him and treat him as a man. So the next scene, they're on their way to the airport, and Guillermo is nervous about his expired passport. And they're on the plane on their way to the States, and a message comes across our screen saying that they were detained in immigration for questioning. But 2 hours later, they're okay, and they're in the States, and everything is fine. And that's the end of Guillermo and Cara. Next is Eve. Eve is new. She's a new cast member. So it's going to be Eve and Muhammad. So we are introduced to Eve. Eve is 48 years old from Albuquerque, New Mexico. She is a acupuncturist and a massage therapist. She has a son who has a disability. She said Muhammad from Egypt, who is 25 years old, slid in her DM. She said Muhammad is very fit. We saw pictures of him. He's very fit and not bad looking. She said Muhammad slid into her DM when he saw a picture of her in her bikini. Let's remember that. He slid into her DM when he saw a picture of her in her bikini. She said she responded to him, and 2 weeks later they fell in love. 2 months later, Eve went to Egypt to meet him and they got engaged. When she got back from Egypt, she started the K1 visa and has been waiting for almost 2 years. But Muhammad got his visa and he is due to arrive in the States in about 2 days. Eve is making room in her closet, and she's her friend Crystal is over, and she tells her friend Crystal that in the Muslim culture, you cannot show your arms and your legs. So she's getting rid of clothes that are too revealing while making room in her closet for Muhammad's clothes. So Crystal has a son also who is Muhammad's age. So she is concerned that Eve um, being with someone who's she's concerned about Eve being with someone who's immature. Eve does not care about Muhammad's age. She just wants everyone to be happy for her. Next scene, Muhammad arrives the next day. So Eve is hanging out with her friends one last time before he arrives, because I don't know how she's going to be able to hang out with her friends with his strict culture rules or religious rules. So she hugs her friends like she haven't seen them in years. And they sit down to eat, drink, and they ask her a bunch of questions about Muhammad. They talk about his culture, not, where you can't show public display of affection in his culture. So she won't be able to do that. Her friends ask her if Muhammad was a virgin when they did it, and she said yes. In her confessional, Eve said it's against Muhammad's culture to have sex before marriage, but they were convinced that they were meant to be, so they went ahead and defied the culture and did what they had to do. Her friends are asking her a bunch of questions about a bunch of sexual questions, and Eve tells them that Muhammad is a rock star in that department, and they did it multiple times in one day. Eve did not want to talk too much about their sex out of respect for Muhammad, because in his culture you don't do that. You don't discuss sex in public like that. So Eve plans on cutting down on drinking. She because his culture does not allow drinking. She plans on cutting out pork because of his culture again, and she also got rid of clothes that showed too much arms and legs. So she's changing her entire life for this man. That's too much. I would not be able to do it. I wouldn't do that. Absolutely not. She said he had gotten upset with her for wearing a bikini and he didn't speak to her for 2 days. But she said that is how they met. That's how they met. She posted herself in a bikini, and he saw the picture and slid into her DM and complimented her on the picture. So now she can't wear a bikini. But that's how you met her, wearing her bikini. That doesn't make any sense to me. So her friends are not happy that she has to change so much for Muhammad. Her friends are telling her to wait out the 90 days before marrying him. Go to the end of the 90 days. Don't just get him here and marry him. Wait until the 90 days are up and then marry him. That's what her friends are suggesting that she does. But Eve is not happy that they're raining on her parade. She's happy, and she just wants them to be happy for her. So that's the end of Eve and Muhammad. Next up is Jibri and Miona. We see Jibri taking his father's truck through the car wash. He said his fiance Miona will be coming to the States in about 2 days. But a YouTuber told me, the same YouTuber who reviews this show, she didn't tell me specifically, but she reviews this show, and she says that she thinks that Jibri and Miona are already married before the show aired, before they even got on the show. She thinks that they were already married. So she thinks their storyline is fake. I don't know, because if their storyline is fake, that means the mom and the father, the stepfather, they're faking too. So I'm not sure about that one, but we'll see. So Jabri's best friend David is also from Serbia, but he does not get along with Miona. David is also Jabri's bandmate, and he is ready for them to start making music again. But Jabri has to be available for Miona when she gets to the States, so he really can't get involved with the band right now. David doubt that Miona and Jabri will last. David told Jibri that he didn't like Miona because he didn't like her vibe. She comes off as bougie. David thinks that Miona is using Jibri to come to America. Next, Jibri is planning on bringing a red carpet and gifts to the airport when he picks up Miona. He got her a cowboy hat. He got her cowboy boots. And he's ready to go to the airport, but he's getting dressed. He puts on a pink turtleneck and he puts on a white sweats turtleneck and a pink suit and a cowboy hat. And he tries to pick up her gifts, and when he bends, he splits his pants. And he doesn't change his pants. He goes to the airport with the split pants. The next scene, Jibri gets to the airport and he rolls out the red carpet, and he has flowers on the American flag for her, and he hides behind a pillar, and she comes down the escalator and runs into his arms, and then they like took pictures on the red carpet. In his confessional, Jibri said they met online, but I thought they met in Serbia. I thought they met in Serbia, but he's saying that they met online. In her confessional, Miona said she is chasing the American dream. Well, that's the end of Jibri and Miona. Next is Emily and Colby. Is that the last? Yes, thank God, that's the last. Emily and Colby. Emily pissed me off. We see Emily, she's packing sexy lingerie because Colby, her baby daddy, is arriving the next day. She plans on spending a night alone with him. And the lingerie that she's packing, it looks too small for her. They look like they can't fit her. They look way too small for her body. Anyway, she leaves to go to pick up Cody, and she said it's a 2.5-hour drive. Next thing you know, she meets up with her friend Sean, and they sit down to dinner, and she wants him to keep an eye on Colby. And I don't understand that. That pisses me off. Why does she want her friend Sean to keep an eye on Colby? She's the one that went to another country, met Colby, spread her legs for him raw. I know that sounds crass, but that's what she did. She spread her legs for him raw, got pregnant, had his baby, did the K-1 visa for him to come to the States, plan on marrying him, plan on having sex with him the minute he gets off the plane, and he's going to be living with her and her family. But you want your friend to check him out? That doesn't make any sense. Check him out, and for what now? For what? Check him out to see if he's a bad person, and then what? What if he finds out that he's a horrible person? And what? I think Emily is a total idiot. So her and Sean have dinner, and Emily tells him her plans for Colby. Emily and Sean also discuss sending Colby back to his country if he doesn't have any chemistry with Emily. He has a whole child with her. That's cold-blooded. He has a child with her. You're just going to send him back because you don't have chemistry with him? The more Emily talks, the more I can't stand her. So Emily is worried that she looks different than the last time she saw Colby. And I know it's very hard to lose weight, but she's young and she had 2 years to lose the baby fat and she didn't lose it. The next scene, we see Emily in her hotel room pumping milk from her breast. Then she goes to the airport to pick up Colby. They see each other and they hug and kiss, and Colby he's not a bad looking guy at all. And he's happy to see Emily. He tells the producer that she has changed. She has gained weight. And Emily's like, you have changed. You have gained weight. So why are you shocked? I guess she's shocked that he's actually said it. He said he can't wait to meet his son. And people might hate me for saying this, but the son seems spoiled and whiny and fussy. I don't think he's going to like that because in his country, they probably don't raise kids like that. In my country, in Jamaica, where I'm from, Where I was born, they don't raise kids like that. Kids can't be fussy and spoiled and act the way this little baby was acting. So he probably won't like the way the baby's acting. The baby probably won't even come to him. Anyway, and I don't think the baby's gonna take to him easily. The baby probably won't even go to him. Even though the baby see him on video chat, the baby probably won't even go to him. Anyway, Emily is also nervous that she hasn't told Colby that he is not going to see his son until the next day. She's nervous. She hasn't told him that yet because she wants to spend alone time with him. And that is the end of my review. I'll be back next week with another review. Thank you so very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.